Alright, happy Tuesday guys. We're going to start off with some quick announcements. So today at 1 o'clock today is an express class, so make sure you guys sign up for that if you want that quick half-an-hour class with Laurier there. And then we got a 5:45 class in the evening. Tomorrow 9:30 a.m. An early class there, so for Canada Day to get your day started there. And then 11:45 on the Friday. So for the Zoom classes, guys, the ID is underneath the WOD posting, so you guys can use the same one for all the classes there, so you guys can just use that going forward. And again, make sure you guys sign up ahead of time for that. I'm gonna pass it over to Eddie for the workout of the day.
Okay, workout today, guys. We had a longer one yesterday. Hopefully you had fun with that one. But it was a bunch of smaller kind of workouts within. This is just one workout. It's a shorter workout. The goal is, can you hit this under 10 minutes? 21:59 at a fast pace. Alternating snatches, you should be able to do all 21 in a row. Okay. Burpee over kettlebell, dumbbell, or your object that you're using. That's what you're jumping over. That might slow you down slightly, just because it's more involved as a movement. But your pace or your intention should not slow down that much. It's just the duration of the movement is a little bit longer, so that's where you kind of slow down, okay? Once you've done your burpees, 21 of them, you start again, guys, going for 15 alternating snatches, and then 15 burpee over your object, and then finishing off the last round of 9 and 9. On the snatches, I always like starting with my opposite hand, so this hand that I don't tend to favor. So I start with my left hand. So if I start with my left hand here, right hand, left hand, then I kind of have a better balance of equal left to right. That extra rep or two, it's not going to make you swole on one side, so don't worry about it too much. But that's how I approach offsetting the imbalances. Have fun with this one. Let's see some of those times. If you're not doing those workouts, watching these videos, start doing those workouts, okay? Get that new guy soreness out of the way as we are about to start getting into the next phase, okay? I'm gonna pass it over to Yash for the afterburner.
All right, so for the afterburner, guys, we got this upper body accessory, 5 and 5 of those single arm press, and then we're gonna go into 5 and 5 single arm flies. So you're gonna go from a bent over position, or you can go from a standing position. We're just gonna work on the upper body today, really try to make sure we got that body awareness of our upper back and that scat. We're gonna do 5 sets of that. So you guys can do the same weight, or if it feels good, you guys can go up in weight each round there. So we'll give you guys more demonstration on that later on in the videos. We'll see you guys next for the warm-up.
Okay, let's get ready to warm up here. Today's warm-up is an AMRAP 6. So we're moving for 6 minutes. Okay, so it's not about doing 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. You move at the pace that you consider is a warm-up, that gets your heart rate going elevated, that gets the muscles fired up in the movements that we're trying to get your hamstrings, your glutes, and your upper back muscles like your lats, your rhomboids. Focus on the area versus focusing on the speed or the rounds that you're doing today. Okay, get warmed up. So first movement, going for 30 double unders, 60 singles. So if you don't have a skipping rope, go into those hops. So hop, single tap, or maybe it's a double tap. So hop, double tap. Repeating that, guys. For the 30, for double unders would be the 30 hops with a double tap. Okay, so that would be equivalent. When you're done that, from there you're going 5 per side of your single arm rope. So find an object, could be a band, could be a weight, kettlebell here in this case, guys. You're gonna lean forward. If you find it a little bit awkward, you don't have another object on the other hand, feel free to follow along. If your stance is a little bit off, feel free to go into that split lunge. Okay, whatever feels comfortable. But the intention here is, again, squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull your shoulder blade back, start pulling that object by pushing and flexing your elbow, so pushing your elbow to the ceiling without shrugging forward. Okay, so shoulder blade back, Flex your elbow, squeeze your armpit, right between your arm and your rib, guys. Keep that muscle nice and active. Extend that arm, retract, row. Again, going for 5 before you switch sides. After that, then you're going for 5 as well on both sides, your Bulgarian squat. To find an object that you can step back onto that is elevated. I'm choosing a smaller object because I know some of you guys may not have a taller object, but if possible, maybe it's the couch, maybe it's a chair. Picking a higher object to allow you to get into your hip flexion a little bit better. Lower object, you just need to get longer, okay? From there, you're gonna go down, think about knee go straight to the floor, okay? Squeeze your butt to get that quad stretched out, then drive through your heel to activate your hamstrings. At all times, you guys, think about keeping your glutes nice and active so your pelvis is in a neutral position versus in this tilted position. So glutes tight, core tight. As you're doing your Bulgarian squat, going for, again, 5 on both sides where you're trying to really fire up hamstrings and your glutes while keeping that core and hips in control, okay? Can go for 6 minutes, get warmed up. Hopefully that gets the heart rate going for you. Okay, let's get ready to work out here. As I mentioned at the whiteboard, 21-15-9, so 3 rounds. Starting with the alternating snatch. I got a dumbbell here, guys. So, depending what you have at home, your starting position might be slightly different, okay? So, what I'm getting at is if I have a smaller object, I might have to squat down to reach it versus leaning forward and rounding my back. That is usually your go-to, more natural, kind of lean forward, reach for it. But then that changes your spine position, does not keep it in a neutral position. So try to get in the habit of hinging with the hips and squatting down if your object is a little bit smaller, okay? To avoid using your back or compromising your back position, use those legs. Just like any lift here that we would use with a barbell, you would deadlift it from the floor. From there, you guys, you're gonna drive your hips, heels into the floor. As you drive your elbow slightly back, then quickly turn it around and punch it to the ceiling, okay? Avoid that 2-step because it's not a clean and press, it's a snatch, okay? So one fluid, continuous movement all the way overhead, okay? So you're gonna do alternating, so as you bring it down, you can switch at your shoulders to go into your next one, or you can switch in front. I'm not a big fan of this one. As you bring it down, this is another alternative. Switch it up, okay? Depending on where you feel comfortable. If you're switching the shoulders or in mid-motion, it will make you go a little bit quicker, so it puts a little bit more stress on the lungs, so you start working on your cardio, okay? Play with it, see what you like, guys, what feels more natural, okay? After you've done the 21 alternating snatches, you're going burpee over kettlebell. It's not necessarily facing burpee, so you can, if you want, face your object, go down into your burpee. Remember, out of that burpee, tuck those elbows, squeeze your glutes and your core. Notice how I'm sagging here. Don't sag too much, keep it tight so that way you can shoot your bum up in the air and then sweep your heels underneath you. Step into it, hop over before you repeat it, okay? Another option is laterally, guys. I'm gonna show you a different approach. Instead of jumping into it, I'm gonna lunge into it, then I'm gonna jump over it, okay? Play with it. The lunge keeps it more continuous to keep that pace up. Might require a little thinking. Play with it. It's always a good time to kind of change it up. Keep your body guessing and confused by changing slight little areas of your movement, okay? 21:59, let's hit it under 10 minutes. Have fun with this workout. Post your time on the YouTube channel.
All right, so we're here for the afterburner, 5 sets, 5 and 5 strict press, and then 5 and 5 single arm quads. So I got a dumbbell and a plate here. You guys can use whatever you have at home. Keep it light for the first couple rounds so you can really feel the upper back and using the proper muscles before you start getting heavy with this. So I'm going to demo with the 5-pound plate here. For the strict presses and the flies today, guys, let's try and focus on the positioning of our scap. So it's very common with the press, for example, to kind of almost overreach with that shoulder. So we're kind of pushing that shoulder out of its socket. I want you to keep the shoulder down. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge if you haven't done this or thought about this before, but keep the shoulder down. Think about pulling the shoulder blades towards each other, so squeezing them together to set that shoulder. Then from there, only just drive through that elbow as you go up and controlling the way down as you come down. Just make sure that shoulder is not moving out of its place. Kind of think of that as its foundation. Keep that foundation nice and strong. So holding it down with those lats, that's where it is, keeping it in that proper position, and then only just using that elbow to extend that weight overhead there. 5 reps there, guys, and then 5 reps on the opposite side. Feel free to use any position, so you can sit on the floor, legs straight, or in a straddle position. You guys can try anything for that strict press. For the flies, same idea here, guys. It might be a little bit harder to notice, but sometimes when you try to lift that weight up and it's a little bit too heavy, we almost want to use a little bit more of the traps to kind of lift it up to compensate. So again, right before you start, squeeze those shoulder blades together, keep that scap down, and then keep a slight bend in the elbow. Don't worry about keeping it nice and straight at first. Slight bend in the elbow, lift as high as you can while keeping that shoulder blade down, and then back down again. If it's only up to here, don't worry about going up in weight. Just try to see if you can go up a little bit higher each time without letting that shoulder roll forward or in any direction. So keep that nice and stable, and then increase your range of motion. Once you're comfortable getting it up to that shoulder height, at least, then you guys can go up in weight. Same thing as you can do it from a bent over position. So I'll bend over at the hips, slight bend in the elbow there, and then I'm going to think about pulling that weight out to the side. While I do that, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together and making sure I'm not shrugging forward. I'm keeping the shoulder blade down. So enjoy this one, guys. 5 and 5 reps on each side. Great unilateral work to work on that balance of the strength on both sides. Increase in weight if it feels good. If not, just work on the positioning of the shoulder blades. See you guys tomorrow for the next workout.